Friends, when we talk about a project, we have to analyze the project from different angles. And today we are going to talk about technical analysis of a particular project. You would be getting the slides on the YouTube, so you can download it from there as well. The different phases or facets of a particular project analysis considers market analysis, whereby you talk about demand, market share, consumption, elasticity of demand, consumer behavior, and various other legal constraints. This is we have seen in the last class. Technical analysis of a particular project is not the technical analysis one which we did in the previous semester, whereby we talked about share market. This is a technical analysis in terms of raw materials. We are talking about scale of production. We are talking about the production type. We are talking about the layout. We're going to talk about the technology and the capacity of a particular plant. Further, we have to see the different aspects of a particular project in terms of financial analysis, whereby we talk about discounting and non-discounting techniques. Especially we talk about cost of capital, we talk about the profitability, the cost benefit analysis, the cash flow, break even point, and the different types of risk associated when we talk about the financial analysis. Economically also the project is being analyzed. If you we talk about the income of society, we talk about the employment level, we talk about the social order, because we need to set up a new project at a new place. So that's why all these things becomes very important. Ecologically also today the things are becoming very crucial and important. We need to see how much impact we are giving, a positive or a negative impact. Most of the time we talk about the negative side of a particular project. What is the damage to the environment our project can create? What are the limits which environmental emission, if any, are being there? And then what are the various measures what we take to overcome such ecological damages if we are causing to the environment. But today the topic is the technical analysis. When we talk about technical analysis, friends, technical analysis means to find out the adequacy of proposed plant and equipment to the prescribed norms. When we talk about the technical analysis, we have to talk technically the engineering part of the particular project, starting from the availability of land and sites, availability of water and power. We talk about the transportation facilities, we talk about the communication facilities, we talk about the availability of servicing facilities like machine shop, electrical repair shop, the people, those who are going to support us during the regular operations. We talk about coping with anti-pollution laws, the ecological factors. We talk about the availability of laborers. We talk about the availability of raw material as per the quantity and the quality required. So whenever we talk about technical analysis, friends, you can easily see what are the things, what are the aspects, what we have to see technically, whether we are in a position to run the particular project successfully or not. Because marketing aspect, we see, okay, this has to be done and we should do this. But are we operationally in that particular position to do such type of things? Has to be taken care of. Now to begin with, let us first talk about the materials and input. Analysis of technical and engineering aspect is done continuously when a project is being examined and formulated. The first very important thing what we need to see apart from all those other factors is, number one, materials and inputs. Defining the material and input. Whenever we start something new, the first very important thing is define what type of materials and inputs are to be required to fulfill the task. We need to specify them specifically in terms of their properties and setting up their supply program. How we are going to acquire those raw materials and how we are going to use them. All those techniques, LIFO, FIFO, everything, supply chain, everything comes in here. We are not going to go in detail, but this is just an overview of what all things have to be taken care of. You being most of the finance student, we need to just understand, and we all know all these things, but this is a process whereby I'm just giving you the layout of all the points what should be considered, right? And the types of materials and inputs are generally divided into four parts. If you see those inputs, the diagram is in front of you. The number one is the raw material, the number two is processed industrial material and components, the third one is auxiliary materials and factory supplies, and finally there are certain utility items which has to be taken care of. When we talk about raw materials, you see the raw materials are further divided into processed or semi-processed raw materials, and they are being classified into four types. One is agricultural products. If we are into that type of projects whereby we require some agricultural products, so we need to see whether it is agricultural product, whether it is a mine related or mineral products, whether it is a livestock and forest products, and whether there is a marine products. So raw materials are generally divided or classified into these four types, and these help us in even identifying where should we put our plant, what location and site should be selected. You can easily identify the relationship between the materials and the site. Most of the time you will find that most of the industries are being set up in those areas whereby you easily get the raw materials or labor. Further, you see the processed industrial and material components. They can be the base metals, they can be semi-processed materials, they can be manufactured components or the parts required for routine operations, or they can be even small components. Technically, whenever we talk about processed and industrial materials, these materials are to be acquired keeping in mind the following parameters. What are the properties? What is the total requirement of such type of materials? Are these materials available in domestic market, or we need to acquire them from the foreign sources? What is the dependency on the suppliers? Do they readily give us the material, or do we need to order them, pay it, and then wait for these guys to deliver us? What is the past trend in the prices? How the price is moving? Is it the seasonal or cyclical effect on the raw material? This is all the things what we have to see whenever we talk about the raw material. And finally, what would be the future behavior of the price? These are the important things when we talk about processed and industrial material. Now, when we talk about auxiliary materials and factory supplies, auxiliary materials and factory supplies can be the chemicals, the adhesives, the packing materials, the paints, the varnishes, the oil, grease, cleaning material. All these materials are required to run a factory successfully. These should be taken in account whenever we talk about the feasibility study. And then we have utilities. Utilities, as you know, are not the main part, but they are the supporting part. The broad assessment of utilities include the power, water, steam, fuel, etc., the infrastructural facilities which is being provided by the government to us. So we have to assess whenever we start up a new plant or think about starting up a new project, the plant should be set up in that particular place whereby we have the following facilities available. The assessment has to be done by inquiring the quantities required, the sources of supply, the potential availability of power and electricity and raw material, everything. And then we have to take the measures accordingly to fulfill the supplies. After the raw materials come the production and the technology. Engineering, those people, those who are engineers here, they better understand, especially the mechanical engineers, they better understand there are different types of production technologies available today whenever we talk about setting up a plant. For manufacturing a product or services, there are various technologies available. So we have to decide what type of technology should we go for. For this, there can be various examples you can see, because most of us are a layman and we don't understand much in technical aspect, but still these are the basic criteria what should be taken care of while we are setting up the new technology or we are setting up a new plant. For example, steel. If we are going for steel manufacturing, that can be done by various methods, Bessemer method and open hearth process. If you are producing cement, then it can be produced using wet process or dry process. If you are producing soda, then there is electrolysis method or a chemical method. You are using if you are producing paper, then you have different process of producing those things. So you have to choose the technology keeping in the following points. First is principal inputs. The choice of technology depends on the inputs available for the project. In some cases, the raw material available influences the technology chosen because different technologies require different categories of raw material. For example, limestone quality determines what type of production you should use, what type of production technology you should use. It may be emphasized that a technology based on indigenous inputs may be preferable to one based on imported inputs. जो चीज़ आपके पास अवेलेबल है आसानी से उन्हीं टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज़ करिए, उन्हीं रॉ मटेरियल्स को उस टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए यूज़ करिए rather than choosing up those techniques whereby you require the foreign and dependencies on different type of those people which are not easily available. The second aspect when we choose technology is investment outlay and production cost. Every step, every technology what we are going to choose requires some initial financial aspect. The effect of alternative technologies of investment outlay and production cost over a period of time should be carefully assessed when we talk about choosing a technology. And further, it should be taken care of whether the technology adopted is proven successfully by some other competitors in India or across. आप जब देखा हुआ काम करोगे तो आपके लिए काम करना आसान होगा बशर्ते आप बिल्कुल सी नई टेक्नोलॉजी लेके आ गए जो कोई भी नहीं करता तो आपकी कोई मदद नहीं कर पाएगा, कोई सपोर्ट आपको इजीली नहीं मिल पाएगा. इसके अलावा whenever we talk about technological choice we have to see the product mix. Are we in a position to offer different varieties of output by the same technology? A simple example, if you can look up on here, toilet soap manufacturing, by doing some minor variation in the raw material, they can come up with the different variations of output. And you can even reach the high-end customers or you can even reach the common man. So depending on what type of technology you are using and what type of output you are in a position to produce. Further, when we see technology, we should see whether it is not obsolete. We are trying to go for the latest technology because we have to use this technology for a longer period of time because capital investment is required whenever we talk about choosing a technology. एक बारी आपने अगर कोई प्लांट लगा लिया, कोई मशीनरी लगा ली तो नेचुरली उसको आप कम से कम कुछ सालों तक चलाओगे, फिर जाके आप बदलोगे. तो आपको ये देखना ज़रूरी होगा कि जो मशीन आप लगा रहे हो वो लेटेस्ट है और कम से कम आने वाले 4-5-6 सालों तक आप उसको यूज़ कर सकते हो. Ease of absorption means the ease with which a particular technology can be absorbed and can influence the choice of technology. Sometimes a high-level technology may be beyond the absorptive capacity of a developing country, which may lack trained personnel. आपके पास लोग ही अवेलेबल नहीं है, आप नई मशीन लें, आपको चलानी नहीं आती, तो बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाए. टेक्नोलॉजी के बाद हम लोग बात करते हैं प्लांट कैपेसिटी की. Plant capacity means the production capacity, how much volume or number of units you are in a position to manufacture during a given period of time. There are several factors which are responsible before you choose the plant capacity. Number one is the technological requirement. The second is the power supply, water supply, the input constraints. The third is investment cost. आप बड़ा यूनिट लेके आओगे, ज़्यादा आउटपुट बनाने का लाना चाहते हो तो आपको वो सारे कंस्ट्रेंट ध्यान में रखने पड़ेंगे. मार्केट की कंडीशन, आप ज़्यादा बड़ी यूनिट ले आए और प्रोडक्शन हम लोग को इतना ज़्यादा करने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है तो आप अपना पैसा फंसाने की बात कर रहे हैं. Then we talk about the resources of the firm. A firm cannot choose a scale of operations beyond its financial resources and management capacity. How much you can easily handle, optimal choice should be made. And then when we talk about plant capacity, we need to take care of the government policies also. How much government is allowing us to come up with. There are certain products whereby government is restricting the output. Further, a very important thing, a very common thing what we take care of is location and site. When we talk about location, there is a basic difference between location and site. When we talk about location, location means the area, the site, the city, the industrial zone, the SEZ or the coastal area. And when we talk about site, a specific piece of land where the project should be set up. So that is a basic difference between location and site. And all these, the choosing of location and site should be taken care of by taking care of the various considerations such as easily availability of the raw materials and the market, the availability of the infrastructure, the government policies, and various other factors such as labor availability, the transportation facility, the climatical conditions. All those things affect the choice of location and site. Then, looking on to so many things, the technical analysis also requires the choice of making machinery and equipment. The machinery and equipment is dependent on the production technology and plant capacity, a very common thing. When we choose a machinery, we should take care of few things. Number one, how much level of production over a time a machine can produce. You can define the various machines and other operations. वो और क्या क्या काम कर सकते हैं प्रोडक्ट A बनाने के साथ, क्या वो B और C और D भी बना सकती हैं. Machine hours required for each type of operations. You have to choose the machinery or equipment for each function. And whenever we talk about machinery and equipment, it can be taken care of the following type. What type of plant machinery you are requiring, what are the mechanical equipments are required, what are the electrical equipments required, what type of instruments are required, how to control them, whether it is semi-automatic or automatic or manual. Then the internal transportation system. आप कभी भी इंडस्ट्री विजिट पे जाएंगे तो आप देखेंगे किसी भी इंडस्ट्री के अंदर भी मूवमेंट कैसे होता है. हम जिस टाइप की मशीनरी ला रहे हैं वहाँ पे उसको इजीली मूवेबल है कि उसको मूव करने में दिक्कत आती है, क्या मूवमेंट की ज़रूरत भी लगती है या नहीं लगती है. ये सारी चीज़ें हमको देखनी होती है जब हम मशीनरी एंड इक्विपमेंट की बात करते हैं. A list of spare parts and tools are all to be made. ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट सा पॉइंट है जो कि बड़ा आसानी से निगलेक्ट किया जा सकता है, लेकिन ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. जो स्पेयर पार्ट्स एंड टूल्स हमको ओरिजिनल इक्विपमेंट खरीदने के साथ में लगेंगे उनकी लिस्ट बनानी ज़रूरी होती है. और जो स्पेयर पार्ट्स एंड टूल रिक्वायर होते हैं रूटीन ऑपरेशन वियर एंड टियर के टाइम पे, वो देखना भी ज़रूरी होता है. टेक्निकल एनालिसिस के अंदर चीज़ें कवर करने के बाद सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ आती है आपकी बिल्डिंग. जो स्ट्रक्चर आप लोग बना रहे हो, जो सिविल वर्क आप लोग बना रहे हो, उसको 3 हिस्सों में डिवाइड किया गया है. नंबर 1 इज़ द साइट प्रिपरेशन एंड डेवलपमेंट, द नंबर 2 इज़ द बिल्डिंग एंड इट्स स्ट्रक्चर, एंड नंबर 3 इज़ द आउटडोर वर्क्स. हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू प्रिपेयर दोज थिंग्स, आप कैसे मैनेज करते हो. कम से कम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में रोशनी का ध्यान रखते हुए आप कैसे एक अच्छा प्लांट बनाते हो जहाँ पे हम लोग को कम एनर्जी खर्च करने में लेकिन सोलर एनर्जी ज़्यादा मिल जाए. ये सारी चीज़ों का ध्यान हमको यहाँ पे रखना ज़रूरी होता है. तो फाइनल पॉइंट होता है एक बार सारी चीज़ों के एनालिसिस करने के बाद, वो होता है आपका प्रोजेक्ट चार्ट और लेआउट. Once the data is available on the principal dimension of a project market size, plant capacity, required technology, equipment and civil work, conditions obtaining at a plant site and supply of inputs to the project charts and layout may be prepared. These define the scope of the project and provide the basis for project engineering and estimation of investment and project cost. ये प्रोजेक्ट चार्ट और लेआउट आपका बेसिक कितना इन्वेस्टमेंट लगेगा, कैसे आपका प्लांट का लेआउट होगा, कहाँ पे आप रॉ मटेरियल रखोगे, कैसे उसका मूवमेंट करोगे, कहाँ पे फिनिश्ड गुड्स आएंगे, कहाँ पे उसका स्टोरेज करोगे, उसका मूवमेंट कैसे होगा. ये सारी चीज़ें आपका सिंपल से प्रोजेक्ट चार्ट और लेआउट से पता लगता है. हम लोग इनकी डिटेल में नहीं जा रहे हैं, लेकिन ये बेसिक से पॉइंट थे जो हम लोग ने आज कवर करने की कोशिश करी है और ये पता लगाने की कोशिश करी है कि हम लोग टेक्निकली जब किसी प्रोजेक्ट को देखते हैं तो वो किस तरीके से देखा जाता है.